Good life. Yeah, I'm trying. My mornings are crazy. Bam, we're here. Look at your tier support.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? I'm just
Yeah.
so I signed. I mean, I obviously I signed a short term contract at the end of the day, but I'm still waiting on my gear. So I'm just here representing right now.
Dude, that is legit. That is legit. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, Ant Haynes. Yeah,
Ant
Ant
Haynes.
or it is Anthony, but yeah,
Oh, okay, okay. Look at me. I can't
yeah,
even figure that stuff out. Who shortened it to Ant?
I did.
Oh, okay. Did your friends just start calling you Ant? You don't have to have your shirt on. You're
Nah, that's
okay.
done. Go get it back on. We'll get it back on. That's just the
Tier, you
start.
got your 42 seconds.
Yeah, I don't know really. Ant is just isn't that not just a normal abbreviation of the name Anthony?
I don't know. I don't know. And I'm now that trying to think if I know any Anthony's. Maybe I think maybe Justin Medeiros' dad's name is Anthony, but they call him Tony, I think.
Yeah. So I'm half English, half Chinese. So if I'm in the UK in England, Tony is like a very normal way to abbreviate Anthony. Um, I don't know when because I'm in Hong Kong. Obviously, there's Chinese people everywhere. It's quite hard to introduce yourself as Ant to someone who doesn't speak English. So I'll actually introduce myself a lot of the time as Anthony or Anthony. I don't even know which one it is. I got an H in there, so it's ANTHONY.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's normally Anthony, and then the second time I meet them, it will be Ant, and then that's it.
So you will pronounce your name Anthony or Anthony, like you just
It's
roll with it.
the latter, yeah. Well,
God,
whichever one's easier. I don't know.
God, I love it.
Ant's easiest.
Um, yeah, which parent is Chinese and which is English?
My mum's from Hong Kong, and my dad's from the UK.
And get me up to speed a little bit. When you say your mom's Hong Kong, she was born in Hong Kong.
Yeah, so obviously Hong Kong is now a part of China. It used to be under British rule up until 1997. But my mum was born and raised in Hong Kong. She's lived there her entire life. My dad was born in the UK. He went across to Hong Kong, I think like 30, almost probably about 40 years now. He's been in Hong Kong, and he hasn't looked back. He obviously had yellow fever, met my mum, and that's it. He stayed over there. So, yeah, that's it. I was born in Hong Kong. Me and my brother. We have a half sister from my mum's first marriage, but we're all three of us born in Hong Kong and brought up in Hong Kong. All three of us went to university in the UK and have since returned back to Hong Kong to live and to start up our business and do life over there.
Very thorough. Thank you, by the way. You
No
made that easy. Hey, what are your siblings older or younger?
So our half sister is the eldest. She is in her 40s. My brother is a year and a half older than me, and then I'm the youngest. Just recently just turned 34, which I won't say I feel old if I'm talking to you on this podcast. I'm not saying you're old either, but I feel old for what I'm about to take on next weekend.
Dude, crazy. It's so awesome that you came out. It's
Yeah,
what a last minute. We'll get to that, but what a last minute crazy
yeah.
adventure. And are you an affiliate owner, Ant?
Yes. Myself and my brother own an affiliate called CrossFit CSTL. Our gym name is called Coastal. So we abbreviated it to CSTL, and we've been an affiliate for over 10 years, I believe.
CSTL CrossFit
CSTL, yeah.
okay, TL. What's that stand for?
Sorry, it's CSTL.
CSTL. What's that
Yeah,
stand for?
it's just a shortened version of Coastal.
Oh, okay.
So
You said that.
yes,
Sorry.
yeah,
Bear with me here.
all good. It's early in the morning.
I also learned that yesterday I had Uldis Upanix on, and
Yeah.
like the literacy rate in Latvia where he's from is 99%. It's like one of the
Oh,
highest in the
really?
world. In the country I'm from, the United States, it's 79%. And I actually feel it. I feel like when I have people on from over the pond or far away places like Hong Kong or Latvia, I'm like, yep, you're smarter. You're a little sharper. I only use 17 letters in the alphabet. And so you own a cross. I don't want to be rude. My mom taught me to be polite, so I want to say, is your rent crazy expensive? Because when I think of Hong Kong, I think of like would be the size of someone's apartment, and you go in there and you just stand.
You're not far from the truth.
And it's $5,000 a month.
Oh man, like property over there it's insane. So obviously, so I've spent some time in Atlanta with the guys at Train Think Tank. I'm pretty close with those guys, our company, and the guys Max Elhaj, Travis Mayer, Kyle Ruth, those guys out there at Train Think Tank. We've got a pretty good relationship just because my brother used to be coached by Kyle Ruth, who's one of the coaches out there. And so I talked to people like Travis Mayer, Max Elhaj about rent in the gym space. So let me tell you in US dollars how much we pay for a roof over our head in our gym.
Is your gym on the ground or is it in the air?
It's on the ground floor. Yeah, it's on the ground floor.
And is there a lot of foot traffic where you're at?
Nope, it's not in like this. Not in the middle of the city or anything. It's actually down like almost an industrial style area of the place that we're in. But I believe we pay $250,000 Hong Kong dollars a month.
And a month?
A month. Yeah.
$250,000 is 250,000.
Yeah. So that's about 31,000 US dollars a month.
Oh my God.
That's before we've paid a member of staff. That's before we've paid an electricity or water bill. Yeah, it's it's relative. It's definitely relative.
I hear you. I hear you. But it's still and what's the membership at your gym?
So it's funny, a couple of years ago, I think just before COVID, some CrossFit magazine, I think it's called like Box Rocks or something like that. They did a survey of the most expensive gym memberships in the world for CrossFit gym memberships in the world for like an unlimited membership.
I want to guess how much it is before you tell me. Keep going.
And out of the top 5, 4 of them were gyms from Hong Kong.
I'm going to guess that your membership it's $500 US dollars a month.
Let's have a look. It's just under. Yeah.
Yeah.
Under there.
I mean, how can it not be?
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's hard. Like, we love doing what we do, and we're super grateful that we get to do it. But just to see your spreadsheet be in the green at the end of the month is like, it's a rarity sometimes. Most of the time, actually.
Dude, the stress to have that nut. Like you just see, like you pay it, and then like you're like and then it just the next morning you wake up and it's
rolls
coming
around
up over.
again.
Yeah, it's 29 days away from like coming.
Shit, dude. Tell me, it's. I mean, look, it wasn't easy for anyone during COVID. Like that shit sucked. Our part of the world, Hong Kong, was in pretty much a lockdown for 3 years.
Wow.
Like the mask mandate only just went. How long ago did the mask mandate go down?
Literally last year.
Yeah, last year, like the beginning of this year, the mask mandate went. So like, it's still very normal, and most people in Hong Kong are still wearing masks. Most
people.
Yeah, a lot of people are still wearing masks. Yeah.
Wow.
It's very much it's almost like the fear has been put into people for that.
Hey, I used to travel a lot. And I used to go all over the world. I went to all the continents, and this is 20 years ago. But when I would travel, I would see Asian people. I don't know of what descent. I don't know if they were Chinese or Japanese or Korean or what they were. But it was, if I ever saw anyone wearing a mask on a plane, and I would see it periodically, it was always Asian people. It was somehow, and I never knew what it was for.
Neither do I.
But it was somehow I don't know, part of the culture. It's you know what I mean? I should have figured that out before. Now everyone's wearing them before it became trendy.
Yeah. I mean, masks were definitely quite trendy at some point in Hong Kong. But yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of thinking back now before COVID, there's definitely times that you see Asian people wearing masks. And I don't know, I guess they just feel safer with it. I can't really think of a reason.
We had weird stuff here in the States. And you could go to some states and you would not see one person wearing a mask during the peak of it. And then other states, you wouldn't see one person not wearing a mask. And if you took yours off, people would yell at you. But it was in the same country. It was such a weird time.
Strange. I mean, we could barely leave Hong Kong. Like there were basically no flights going in and out of Hong Kong. And if there was a flight coming back in, you'd have to quarantine for 3 weeks, sit in a hotel for 3 weeks, which is like hugely expensive to do that anyway, because no hotels are even participating in, putting up someone who would potentially have COVID into their hotel. And then who the fuck wants to sit in a hotel room for 3 weeks? There's nothing to do. It's lonely. It's boring. It's not good for your mental health or your physical health. So everyone just ended up staying put in Hong Kong, or a lot of people just, so in terms of our, when you think about how hard COVID was for the gym, we lost a third of our membership. They just basically took their whole families and went back to wherever they were from. We have a lot of the main bulk of our membership is definitely expatriate, so foreigner based, but the local market's grown as well. But a lot of those people just said, that's enough. We can't deal with this anymore. Kids aren't going to school. They're not learning. They're not playing sports. No one's taking care of their health. No one gives a shit over here. So they all went back to UK, America, Canada, Australia, wherever they were from originally. And pretty sad. A lot of friends of mine have left. A lot of our clients have left as well. So
was there a big population decline in Hong Kong after that? Like, is there like some metric on it? Like Hong Kong lost 10% of its people, or?
Yeah, I think, Lee, what was the metric that Hong Kong lost, like 10% of foreigners, was it, during COVID?
Oh, yeah, at least.
At least, yeah. There was like 10% of
the
expatriates left Hong Kong. It was pretty insane, yeah.
Wow, crazy. Yeah. We had movement populations like that too, like schools. We have like 50 million, 51 million kids who were attending the public school system before, and then after, I don't even know what to call it, but after that fiasco, only like 49 million returned.
Yeah.
And so like 2 million kids just decided to be homeschooled. Schools in my area, lots of schools closed down because they just didn't have enough kids, which kind of is a benefit. I guess it's not a benefit to lose people, 10% of your population, especially if it's the minority. Are the expats the minority in Hong Kong?
Yes.
Yeah, you don't want to lose that, because that creates a lot of trade, right? You want foreigners because that brings money back and forth, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're generally in like some sort of job which requires their expertise.
Hey, how come every Asian country I've been to, Japan, Thailand, I've been to China a handful of times, half dozen more. I would, you get there and you're jet lagged, so you get up at some crackpot hour and you start walking the streets at 4 a.m., right, looking for something that's open. And the Asian people are always, every one of these countries in the morning, there's a group of people who's out on the street corners like at 6 a.m. doing some sort of movement, or you walk by a park and it's packed with people doing movements.
It's awesome.
And it's crazy, right? These group of people, and it crossed all boundaries of all the different Asian descents, and yet it doesn't seem CrossFit takes off in those countries, which you would think. I mean, you never see what I saw in China and the United States. I never walked by a park in the United States at 6 a.m. and there's 400 elderly people doing Tai Chi or whatever they're doing. I'm making that up. I don't know what they're doing, but it looks like that.
No, yeah, it's a lot of it's Tai Chi or like a wushu, where they have like it looks like they have like swords, or they have like the fan open in front of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome. Like, it's really cool that like the senior population do that, and like there's actually, like you said, it kind of spans across all races, ages, and sizes of people, which is awesome. But yeah, I think the reason why CrossFit, especially in a country like Hong Kong, maybe not so much. I think like Korea, it's really taken off. Like the CrossFit is huge in somewhere like Korea,
right?
But somewhere like Hong Kong, like things that are physically challenging, it doesn't really resonate with Hong Kong local people very much. Things that like can hurt you, bruise the body, like, you know, a sport like American football, rugby, football, soccer, whichever you want to call it, you know, that sort of stuff where you're not necessarily protected by the rules of the game and the referee. Like it's popular, but they never excel. Like Hong Kong's never been good at those sports really, within the local population. They much prefer games like a badminton, a table tennis, a basketball, where like contact isn't really a massive point in the sport. So something like CrossFit, where you know you're potentially ripping hands, you got barbell slamming onto you, shit hurts when you're doing it. It doesn't really fly. Also, Hong Kong, in terms of the way that the Hong Kong people are brought up, everything is academic based. You know, even the way that my half sister, she's fully Cantonese. So the way that she was brought up was in a local schooling. It's like, don't worry about your sports, don't worry about that stuff. Just like nail your grades, nail school, get through that, and then do what you want afterwards. So as you're brought up, like there's nothing like you guys got here in the States. Like even driving around Madison the other day, seeing the university campus of all the crazy facilities that these universities got out here, it's just like I think it's sick. I think it looks awesome. Like you go to Hong Kong, you don't see any of that shit. You see like one basketball court, that's about it. So yeah, it's just not sport, and hard work in like the physical side of things isn't really kind of drilled into you in Hong Kong. And you know, I can't really speak for the rest of Asia because obviously I grew up in Hong Kong, but that's how I see it. Having said that, though, since COVID again, there's definitely been a shift towards people investing more in their health and fitness.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And the local people as well, which is definitely cool. Yeah.
So they see it, they understand the value of it.
Absolutely.
To build the immune system, be strong. Hey, I live in one of the fittest towns in the United States. Yeah. And yet, if I go to the burrito store here in town, 1 mile away from one of the most beautiful oceans in the world, there will be, at lunchtime, there will be 65 people there. And I'll look around and I'll realize that there's not one person who's not obese. And by obese, I mean 40 pounds. Someone will be 40 pounds overweight and they'll be the skinniest person there.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, wow, like I can't, I'm used to it. Or I'll go into Home Depot and I'll be like, wow, let's play a game and see if we can just find one person who's not obese. Like, I don't even think people realize what obese is anymore because we've recalibrated.
Absolutely.
I know I'm about to fly to Madison. I'm going to get on the airplane. I'm not even going to believe what I see.
I mean, to me,
do you
like,
have that in Hong Kong? Are there any obese?
No. I mean, there is. Of course there is, right?
You do see them?
But it is very much an anomaly to see someone, you know, when I see I'm just saying this because I'm in America right now, but when I like step off the plane and I see people at the airport, I'm like, holy shit, like
it's different, right?
Not normal to be like that. You know, of course you get people who are overweight and whatnot in Hong Kong, and you know, that's I guess a part of life, but like the size that I've seen people over here it blows my mind.
Okay.
And it's not unnormal to see it, right? That's right.
The thing. When I was when the first time I went to Texas like 30 years ago, I had a job chasing tornadoes, and I remember, not in any negative way, with no judgment, I just remembered that there were a lot of places that were all you can eat, and I would go in there, and I had never coming from California, and I was a well-traveled person through California, but I had never seen, like, if I saw someone who's 300 pounds back then, it was like, wow. And but I went to Texas and they were everywhere. And then now in California, it's like that, but not like that in Hong Kong. It's still an anomaly.
Yeah. I mean, Hong Kong people are generally quite small, quite petite people anyway.
Yeah.
So to get that size would be like a real eye opener if you got that size in Hong Kong.
You would stick out like a sore thumb.
Big time. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting. And yet academics are the primary thing for kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Still are now.
Behind the scenes fun, watched since 2013. It got me hooked back then. Thank you.
Oh yeah, behind the scenes. What are you doing with that? Are you back?
I'm so pumped. I'm so awesome. Excited. Yeah. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to see it. To
put the camera in Aunt Haynes' face. Are you Allegra, shaker fun for your Swolverine intra? I'm not a good enough athlete to have a shaker. I still use a spoon.
Stirred, not shaken.
Harley Jew rider. Oh, I like that. Harley Jew rider. A Jewish man on a Harley. I'm an Armenian man on a Harley with 3 Jewish kids. I jumped on to finally catch a live one. Loving these athlete interviews, behind the scenes fun. You're gonna kill it. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. Let's see if there's anyone else who needs a hug. Holy cow, dude. You are popular. I cannot believe how many comments there are already. Deja Entendu. I was in China and the gatherings of old people just dancing at the end of the day. I know, it's nuts, right? It's community and health incarnate. Great part of the culture.
Yeah, I love Deja Intendu's profile image. That's good.
That's crazy, right? Hey, did you bring a computer with you?
I did. Yeah.
You did? A laptop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good on you. An Apple, or you're a PC guy, or a...
It's an Apple.
Oh, nice. And does Hong Kong have a sweet Apple store?
It has multiple sweet Apple stores. Yeah.
Yeah. God,
not like China. Not like China where they're fake out there.
Have you ever seen a fake Apple store?
Oh yeah, loads. There's plenty in China.
God, that would be so. Part of me thinks that. Imagine how ambitious that is. I'm gonna knock that off.
I know, right? But I mean, no one knows any different. Like, if the Chinese people out there, the mainland Chinese people, you wouldn't know any different. It's literally exactly the same. Everyone's walking around their blue or red shirts, and it's got the little Apple tag on it, and the products are all in there. It looks exactly the same.
Dude, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
it's not it's legal, or it's not legal?
I mean, it's illegal, but to start with, no one knew the difference.
Right.
So it just ran like a regular business.
Even Tim Cook walked in there. He's like, "Hey, a great store. I didn't know we had this location." Let me see this. SEMA Globes. Thanks, Sevon. Thanks, Sevon is actually right. 11th lowest in California and 65th in the nation. Oh, my city? Yeah, it's crazy fit, dude. And yet, it's not. I mean, this is the home of CrossFit. There's a gazillion CrossFit gyms here.
Oh yeah,
there's so many. Yeah. You I guess you look like Superman, don't you?
It's the camera on the Apple.
Was there a Superman that was half Asian and half white that played Superman?
Clark Kent sometimes looks a bit Eurasian like me, so I'll take that if that's the case.
That's what you're called, Eurasian?
Yeah, we're a special breed.
Eurasian.
You never heard that term before?
I have, but I've never thought of it. I would spell it with a Y. Y-O-U-R. Wait, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E.
Right,
Asian.
yeah.
You're Asian. Hey, you're Asian.
Okay. Yeah.
There was a Clark Kent. It was the TV one.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Man, dude, you are a special looking human being. You are really. Are there a lot of people who look like you that are mixed, that are Eurasian?
Yeah, there's quite a lot. I mean, like, when I grew up at school, there was quite a few Eurasians at school. It's not uncommon to see that.
But do they look like you? I mean, you look like Asia Barto and Josh Bridges had a kid. I mean, you are something. You're something else.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think.
Like, are there a lot of buff dudes who look like you with their hair, like kind of like the samurai hair pulled back, and they have the features of a Eurasian? Like, do you look around, you're like, oh yeah, that dude kind of, or no? That's not how they don't all turn out like you.
No, so you recognize Eurasian pretty quickly, but Eurasians go one of two ways. Generally speaking, you get, I guess, ones who look more like me, would have like maybe a slightly darker skin, or the ability to get a suntan.
Yeah.
And then you see the other forms of the Eurasian who are like jet black hair, like jet black features, and super white pale skin.
Like because Chinese people tan, but those Brits don't tan, so good.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get the pasty skin from the European side.
That would suck.
Yes, you didn't luck out in the drawer if that's the case.
Michael Banyan, great job, Sevi. Thank you, dude. Good luck, Ant.
Thank you, Michael.
Ant, does it rain a lot in Hong Kong?
It's a tropical country, so yeah, it's pretty much on the equator. So you get a lot of typhoons, which is the equivalent of the hurricane over here.
That hit the city?
Oh, all the time. Yeah. So actually, a couple of days before I flew out, there's a Typhoon 8. So it goes Typhoon 1, Typhoon 3, Typhoon 8, Typhoon 10 is like the category system, ranking system. T8 is, you probably get like one a year, one to two every year. So one of them just hit the few days before myself and Leith flew out to the US. There's currently one in Hong Kong right now, which is just a T1. So it's like pretty weak. It just means that the wind speed is down and it's quite far offshore right now. But yeah, I mean, we have them come through every year.
A T8, you can't even, don't even use an umbrella. We'll just rip your umbrella just to turn it inside out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So if you go out, you just get wet.
Yeah, big time. And like, so T8 and T10, like you go home, work's cancelled, you don't go to work, ferries closed down, transport closes down. I think I must have only lived through maybe 3 or 4 T10s.
Does someone die in T10s always? Like there's someone who goes outside and always a couple people get swept away.
Yeah, and like generally speaking, these typhoons, they'll generally develop and like get real powerful around the Philippines, and then it comes and hits Hong Kong afterwards. But Hong Kong's like, it's a built-up city. Like it doesn't, although it's on like the coast on the peninsula, it doesn't really get affected. Whereas like you can imagine it hitting, somewhere like the Philippines where there's like tin roofs and stuff like that. Like it just decimates those countries, and it's crazy like the effect that it has on those places. Hong Kong, we're very lucky that it's definitely a bit more built up. The infrastructure is a bit more solid. So it's just a pretty windy, rainy week for most of it. Trees and stuff get blown down. Some trees get uprooted, but generally speaking, touch wood, we don't see too many casualties in Hong Kong. But across Asia, they can be absolutely devastating.
It's a great line. Touch wood. A sloppy slop. Weather's looking pretty nice for next week. Oh, good. Hey, did you see any smoke in the air? There was some concern a couple weeks ago because you did see smoke in the air in Madison.
So, when we landed here, so we landed early Monday morning, like 1 a.m. in the morning. So on Monday when we got up, it was real hazy. Like couldn't see, there was no blue in the sky. Couldn't really see. We went for like a bike ride around Lake Monona. Could barely see the other side of it. It was like quite bad.
I saw your vlog, by the way. Yeah, and it was white over the entire lake. By the way, your vlog is cool. Good job, dude.
Thank you. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. I just thought I'd put some stuff up if I could.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you won the bike ride against Lee. You really put yourself on the line there.
Fucking crushed it.
You did crush it. I like it how she's like wanting a head start. You're like, no.
No, fuck that. You don't lose.
Hey, she looks pretty damn fit, dude.
It's crazy. I always say the same thing. Like you,
what a specimen.
55 category. When she stands out there on the floor versus the other 9 ladies, and this is taking nothing away from the other 9 ladies who are out there as well. But like, she looks like a fucking gladiator out there.
She does look like a gladiator. What is she? What is she? She's not your Asian.
She is not. No, she's English. She's fully English, but she's been based out in Hong Kong for a good while now. How many years in Hong Kong? 16 years in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's representing the UK there.
I guess a lot of people do that. They come there and they just don't leave.
Yeah, a lot of people do, like my dad being one of them. But a lot of people also do the other side of it, which, Hong Kong's a super transient city, especially if you are in the main reason that Westerns will come over to Hong Kong is generally for finance, some sort of financial job. And they'll generally move between like New York, London, Hong Kong, Tokyo, and they'll just keep kind of doing that loop. So it'll be like anywhere between 1 to 10 years move, 1 to 10 years move, 1 to 10 years move, and they just keep moving around like that. So it can be quite sad. You build up relationships with people, and you develop some good connections, and then it kind of just it's normal. You almost expect it to happen, it sucks sometimes, but yeah, it's just part of life in Hong Kong.
Jake Chapman, Ant looks like a vampire from Buffy. I could see, he got like he's a tan vampire. He would need to really whiten up.
There you go. I haven't heard that for a while.
You did used to get that?
Yeah, we used to have Sarah Michelle Gellar, I remember.
Oh yeah, that show. Wow. Oh, you are old, 34. My goodness. Ant, what happened? How did you end up here? What a typical story. They didn't let the Iranian guy in?
Yeah, so
racist.
I didn't say it.
Poor Iranian guy. That guy's close to he might even be Armenian. I feel horrible for him.
Yeah, he. I mean, I feel terrible for Morteza is the guy who didn't.
Did you meet him at the semifinal?
Yeah, we actually had a good chat for like 3 hours, and we were both sitting there waiting for our drug testing to go through. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. I met him a couple of times. I met him last year at the Far East Throwdown as well. And he's a super good dude, and it was an awesome battle trying to get that second spot. And he picked me by 13 points, so I was, of course, disappointed, but stoked for him to go anyway. And it's weird. So I had a feeling, obviously disappointing that I missed.
When you
out.
say you had a feeling, you looked at him and you're like, motherfucker, you were juiced to the gills. You ain't going. Or there's no way those fucking racist Americans are letting Iranian in. Like, which one?
Yeah, let's go with the latter. Yeah.
Okay, fine. But something. You thought, oh, there's a good chance one of these guys might not make it. Who was the other guy who made it?
Arthur Semenov.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was on your podcast the other day. So
yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
His translator stole the show. She's great.
Yeah, you can take her eyes off her.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, that's right. Whatever you say.
Yeah. So shit. I don't know. I just had like a feeling in my gut for a while that like I should just keep. Normally take a bit of an off season. You give yourself a break. I didn't feel like these semifinals was like a body breaking style regionals from back in the day when you did like the 50s and the 100 style chippers and like you come back from regionals in like a hospital bed. So I actually felt okay. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll keep training. I'll take it easy for a few weeks but I'll just keep training, keep doing my double sessions and keep doing what I do. I'd stay on track with my food and do my sleep stuff, do my recovery stuff as best I can. Just part of my habitual routine anyway, but it kind of, let me rewind a bit. This coming weekend, the games weekend, one of my best mates is supposed to be he's getting married in Scotland. So when he told me that he booked his wedding for the games weekend, I was like, you selfish prick, as if you would do that. No, but he is like, look, at the end of the day, if you qualify, it's totally fine. If you don't qualify, you're coming to my wedding. And then I had a huge dilemma as Lee's coach as well. I was like, well, shit, if she qualifies to the games, then like I can't just leave her high and dry. So, I went through I know it sounds like a small first world problem, but there was a lot of anxiety from my end with that. Obviously,
how close is your friend? I would look for any excuse to get out of any wedding. You really wanted to go to it? You really wanted to go?
Yeah. I used to live with him. He's one of my best mates.
All right. If you say so.
I wanted to go, but
he's not watching this. He's not watching this. You can set yourself free. Tell the truth.
I told him you better be fucking streaming the games at his wedding.
Yeah.
So I had a conversation with Lee. Like I was very open about it. I said like I need to think about this, and we obviously had a very successful 2022 with Lee. She came second in her division. I managed to be a part of that journey. Very grateful to be a part of that journey with her, but she totally crushed it. And when you do so well one year, you're like, well, why the fuck would I change it for the next year if I can go one better? So I didn't want to take that away from her either. But of course, I still wanted to go to my friend's wedding. Obviously, once in a lifetime sort of thing as well. It basically ended up deciding that someone else from our gym would come along and help Lee out in my absence because I was going to go to my friend's wedding. And then it so happened that the schedule was different this year compared to last year. So the Masters are going on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whereas last year it wasn't like that. It was like everyone just goes at one time and the Masters kind of get, pushed around the schedule wherever the individuals want to go. So I was like, oh shit. So I actually could probably make it. So I was then I booked my flights from Hong Kong to Chicago, would drive down to Madison with Lee. She would compete on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I would then fly out late at like 11 p.m. on the Thursday night, fly to Iceland, stop over in Iceland, fly to Glasgow, land into Glasgow on Friday, do like the pre-wedding drinks on Friday evening, wedding on Saturday and Sunday, and then fly out on Monday. So I basically booked that whole thing. And I was like, okay, sick. I can do both. We're good.
Dude, you're crazy.
Fuck. And like, put the money down, and nothing was cheap doing it, but I was like, it's worth it. This is what I want to do. Booked the final flight on a Wednesday night. Fucking woke up Thursday morning and got an email from CrossFit saying, hey, one of the guys in your region didn't quite manage to get a visa. We know you're going to be in Madison because you're going to be coaching Lee. Do you fancy competing?
Oh, they did know that. They did know that.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Wow.
yeah, I was like, all right, well, fuck, I better go and start canceling some flights and rebooking some others and finding out if I can get a hotel. So yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind week, to be honest.
How cool of CrossFit to do that. I mean, it would have been,
yeah,
because that's late in the game.
Oh, big time. I actually think that, if I would, I hold a passport which can get a visa pretty easily over in the States, and I've never been rejected. I've been here plenty of times before, and they knew that I'd come last year as well, and that I was coming this year. I wonder if maybe if I held an Iranian passport or a Russian passport or something, a passport that maybe wouldn't be so easy to get a visa. I wonder if they would have offered me the spot or just left it empty.
Right.
But yeah, it was it was funny. It was quite an informal email, just like, well, you're going to be here. You may as well compete. And I was like, fuck, okay, sure. And they're like, you tell us as soon as you can, because then we'll try to get you some gear ready. So,
and then when you said yes, that's when this email showed up?
Yeah, I did. They said yes. And then the next thing was that email through. And now I'm here.
Hey, when you get this email and like you're bringing your arrow down here to accept and decline, are you like real careful?
Yeah, actually, the first time I clicked it, they sent me an email. I clicked it the first time, and it actually said registration is closed. I was like, motherfucker, someone's trying to joke. I was thinking like fucking Morteza and Arthur Semenov are sitting on the other side of the computer, being like, "Fuck you."
So then, what do? You just send them an email, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll get you registered."
Yeah, they're super helpful about it all. So yeah, as soon as I paid for my entry, and then obviously got linked into all the athlete emails and all that sort of stuff, and it kind of like I said, just became reality. Told my all my colleagues and friends back in Hong Kong, I was like, I'm leaving next week, so we've got to get shit covered. I got to sort stuff out. So it's just myself and Lee here. So normally my brother is actually my coach.
Yeah.
But he'll be going to the wedding of my mate as well. So he unfortunately wasn't able to make it across. So it's just myself and Lee here. So yeah, that's the story. It's a pretty crazy one, to be honest. But so super grateful to be here and to have the opportunity.
Will she be your coach then?
Fuck no.
You won't give Lee your coach's pass?
So again, she was supposed to be leaving on Thursday, basically after she competed. She's got family in the US, so yeah, they normally go to, is it Utah? They normally go to Utah and see the side of a family that they saw last year.
So who's going to be your coach? Who's going to be like making sure you're hydrated and fed and like?
I'll find someone. I'll bribe someone. You want to do it for me?
I'm busy. I'd love to. God, that would be awesome. I would love to.
Yeah. So I'm actually spoken to, like I said, I mentioned before, I'm quite close with the guys at Training Think Tank.
Yeah.
I know Max will be here because he will be coaching Noah and also an age group athlete as well. Travis, although he obviously didn't compete this year with his hand issue that he had, and I don't know what he.
I just texted Travis yesterday, and I was like, "Dude, please tell me you have a coach's pass." He's like, "No." I'm like, "Dude, you need one so I can like film with you and behind the scenes."
Yeah, well, so I was going to give him my coach's pass.
Get Travis.
But then he said, because he's got to do some stuff with Victory Grips at the booth.
I
know, right?
What, do they pay you $12, Travis? Stop fooling around.
Yeah, exactly. So Travis turned it down. So I'll probably give it to Max, who's Travis's coach as well.
Yeah. Max already got probably one, right? Doesn't he?
Well, Max gave his coach's pass to Noah's wife.
Crazy. What's wrong with these people? I need Max back there too, so I can harvest some good content from him.
Yeah, he'll be there. It's more of someone like, of course, like Max hasn't coached me, so I don't expect like pearls of wisdom to be dropping out of his mouth like every 10 seconds. But it's more just like someone to keep you company, shoot the shit with when you're maybe feeling a bit down or just got some time to kill, and
a team to huddle with, someone to get you water, someone to make sure you're eating, someone who's
So yeah, I'm, again, like grateful for those guys to come down as well. It sucks that my brother's not going to be here because he was here in 2019 with me, and it is what it is. Just got to do what I can.
Look at this. I'll be your coach. I'll be your coach and side piece.
Oh, come on, unsporty bastards.
RB, I'll be your bitch. Look at this. Look, he's even looking back. He was going somewhere, and he's like, "You need it?" Look at that. Blade Walker. Here's the button. You gotta get a cop. Give me your pass, dog. Yep. Yep.
We should do a lucky draw of some sort.
I'll be your coach. I can stir a mean pre-workout. Oh, look it. They're coming out. Oh my goodness, I love it. So when are you going back now? Now that you're here on Sunday, when it's all over, what will you do?
So I'll basically drive back to Chicago late on Monday night, and I'll get a flight out on Tuesday morning. Like flights a few and far between, so it's like a 19-hour journey back. So I fly from Chicago to Taiwan, and then Taiwan to Hong Kong. But yeah, it is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. That's great. And then work Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, I'll be back and work on Wednesday.
Yeah, coaching it up.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. Any expectations of yourself at this at the premier event where the fittest people in the world will be trying to take your lunch money?
You know what? I think in the situation I'm in, there's no expectations anyway. But having said that, I think I always control what I can. So that's my attitude, my effort towards each event. Generally speaking, I like the games more than the semifinals, more than the quarterfinals, more than the open, just because of the unknown and unknowable elements of it. I'm probably better at doing things like running, I don't know, like flipping pigs and that sort of shit, versus power cleans and thrusters. Just that's more probably my background, which is rugby. So I think that lends itself to game style programming. But honestly, I'm just looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having a blast out there, seeing old friends, meeting new people, and have a crack, leave it all out on the floor and see what happens.
Yeah. Does this resonate with you that you're going to take more risks than normal?
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I may as well throw the kitchen sink at it and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, great meeting you. I'm excited to see you. I watched your vlog last night. I watched some of your interviews. You're a cool dude. You're easy. It's amazing. These people who make it to the games in general are pretty cool. You're top of the food chain. Cool, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And congratulations with Lee.
Thank you. She's going to crush it as well. I'm sure she will.
Yeah, you're a great coach, and congratulations on the affiliate. You're just a great member of the community. I hope our paths continue to cross.
Absolutely. I'll see you when you get here in Madison. Thanks
all right, brother.
For having me on.
Ciao.
Take care.
And Haynes. There's something I want to show you guys really quick. I showed you guys this last night. Hi, Jamie. I see you. I want to show you guys this really quick before I bring Jamie on. This is the Wolverine website. And up here, really small, it says get 25% off. And I told you guys this last night. I don't know if they've left this on here on accident or what. But there's the code. And I don't know how long it will be up there. Anyway, there you go. There's your free shopping tidbit from the 7 Podcast. Get your cheap supplements while you can. Hi.
Hello.
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm pumped.
Cool. Good.
Jamie, I don't think I've ever met you.
Yeah, I think maybe years ago, like 2017 or 2018 games.
Okay. So at the games and briefly.
Yeah, probably briefly. You're probably talking to a lot of people.
And okay. So now that you say that, I think I do. Were you pretty more reserved then than you are now?
I don't know. Maybe I was just a bit more shy. I was quite new to it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was in, the first time at the games as an individual, and it's all pretty scary, and you're sort of just taking it all in. So maybe that was the case.
The first time I laid eyes on you, I remember thinking, now that it's all coming back to me. I remember thinking this is truly a professional athlete who has stumbled onto I don't know what the right word, a fledgling sport that's exploding. And you just seemed, you had a more professional air. Maybe it wasn't that you were shy. Maybe it was that I was intimidated by you, but you carried yourself already. You and, do you remember Anna Tunnicliffe?
Yes.
She's Anna Tobias. The two of you had an air about yourself that was like very poised.
Well, that's good. That's good to know. And maybe, yeah, I don't think I thought I came across like that. I was probably just like a bit stunned by it all. But
Oh, okay, okay. Well, you pulled it off.
yeah, I like
You
it.
didn't come. What did you come from? What sport did you come from?
Rugby and gymnastics. But yeah, I played rugby for like a good 15 years, maybe.
Are you wow, 15 years. I don't really know that sport. To me, it's I when I kind of think about it, I just put it as football, but without pads, American football,
Yeah.
but without pads. I sort of, and you guys have some different rules about what the ball can do.
Yeah.
But I think of those people as big, and then it always surprises me. You're not big.
Some are big. Like you've got your different positions, obviously, like football as well. Some big,
Mhm.
some are small. But yeah, I think that's almost why in the end that I was like, my body just couldn't handle it anymore. All those big hits and with CrossFit as well, it was too much for me. So yeah, ended up just back at CrossFit and it all worked out.
In Australia's home for you?
New Zealand.
New
Don't
Zealand.
say that.
I apologize. I apologize.
It's okay.
I
I'll let you
apologize.
away with it this time.
So you're from the city of New Zealand, which is in the biggest city in Australia. No, okay.
Oh, don't even say that because some people think things like that.
I know, and I'm capable of saying something stupid like that. ESC sounds. Let's go, Jamie.
There we go.
Let's go, Jamie.
Yes.
What games is this for you?
This is number 6.
And let me think of some other things I know about you off the top of my head. You used to be Jamie Green.
Yes. Yep.
And Dubai was home for you.
Yes. Abu Dhabi is home again now.
Oh, it is. Okay.
As of recently, yeah.
And is Abu Dhabi the capital of Dubai?
Abu Dhabi is the capital of the UAE.
UAE.
Another emirate, and Dubai's, so there's 7 emirates, and Dubai and Abu Dhabi are 2 of them.
Okay. Okay. Good. Thank you. Now I'm learning some geography, and I know some of my Jamie Green knowledge as I dig in now, it's really flooding forward. You met your husband there. He was a trainer there also.
Yes. Yeah. So
Oh, look
Elliot
at me.
also.
That's some gossipy shit that I would hear through the grapevine.
Yeah, like that. And obviously
Yeah.
he competes as well. Not this year, but yeah.
What's his name?
Elliot Simmonds. He said, yeah, he likes to say a lot more controversial things than me and has a lot more opinions on things. So
Oh, good. I need to have him on.
yeah, if you ever wanted him on, I don't know if it'd be a good thing for me, but he's one of those ones.
Is he did he win Dubai one year?
No, so he's competed in Dubai. I can't remember where he's got there. He's competed at the games twice.
As an individual?
Yeah. So we did team in 2016 and he competed 2018, 2019 individual.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but now he's been injured the last year.
Deja Intendu for Jamie. Glad you're back and good luck.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Sevon's dog. Jamie, are you allowed to take a dog to the games? Oh,
you could always
try. That's a little forward, please. Yeah, that's a little. I see what you're doing there, Sevon's dog. I apologize. My dog is inappropriate sometimes. Could have been a little more subtle. How old are you, Jamie?
I'm 32. Just turned 32 2 weeks ago.
Someone was doing the average. I had at least three ladies on now that said that they're 34, I think, and they were doing the average, and they said the average was, I think Patrick Clark shared in the comments, the average was 26.7. But you have to think it's skewed because you have like some kids there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like Kerstetter. I mean, she's 17.
Yeah,
that's got to skew the numbers way.
Bring it all down, yeah. But no, I believe that because then a lot of the girls as well are around 22 to 25 as well. So yeah, it's crazy.
Do the women have a longer lifespan than the boys
I don't
in this
know.
sport?
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on like your background and I guess how you take care of yourself. There seems to be a lot of young girls, so they've got a lot more time to carry on through. But then also, yeah, I don't know. I think what do they say? Females, then your endurance almost gets better as you get older. Still waiting for
It,
that. But
it would be trippy if they did have a longer lifespan, because the conventional wisdom is that you guys mature quicker, so you're able to make the leap faster, right? From the teen division to the pro division. And
yeah,
then so that gives you more time on this end. And then if you have more time on the outer end, I mean, and look at Annie.
yeah, yeah. But
She grew a baby in her.
yeah, she's a specimen. But that's just so impressive. Yeah, some of these.
Say that word again, specimen.
She's a specimen, yeah.
Yeah, specimen.
Very, very impressive, yeah. So I know there's some of these girls out there you just can't, it's almost like someone says something and they take it to that next level and try the extra bit on top. But yeah, every year someone, never ceases to amaze you.
It really is like that. That's a good point. I never thought of that. Every year there's someone that you're just like, what?
Yeah. It's cool though. Like, you see it, and I feel like CrossFit really accentuates it.
Tell me the first year you went to the games again, 2017?
For individual, yeah. In 2016, I went on team with CrossFit Yes, and that was my first year.
And then 2018, you went to the games also?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And 2019?
Yeah.
And 2020?
Yeah. In the last 2 years, in a bit of a hiatus.
God, you are something else. And what happened the last 2 years? What happened after the 2020 games?
After 2020 games, I felt great. So me and Elliot decided at the end of 2020 to move to the UK and sort of, take on the full-time athlete role. So we left our job in Abu Dhabi and went to the UK. And I think within, it was like a month or 6 weeks of being there, I dislocated my shoulder. And I was like, so during the 2021 Open.
Can you tell me about that, how that happened?
Oh, like ridiculous. I was doing a dumbbell pullover with 7 kilos, what's that, 15 pounds, and my shoulder dislocated.
What's a dumbbell pullover, a snatch?
No, like literally you lie on the bench, you hold the dumbbell.
Oh.
Holding it like this, which is obviously not right.
Yeah.
Like that, and then it just clunked out. And it was out for maybe like a couple of hours. And then obviously went to A&E, got it put back in, tried to rehab it for 3 months, and then it did it again. So it was, yeah.
I want to say it's called a skull crusher, like in bodybuilding. Is that what? Have you heard that term?
Yeah. It's like a skull crusher, but a skull crusher like this.
Oh yeah.
About pullover, it's literally like you're here.
Okay, look at me trying to tell you what it is.
Well, obviously I didn't know what it was very well.
No, you do. You're a trainer, and I'm just like I'm posturing on you.
I was obviously doing something wrong though. But yeah, so literally just my shoulder popped out of its socket, and now whenever I see anyone ever doing them, I'm like, I can't even watch.
And you were probably enjoying it too, right? Like I like doing stuff like that because I like the stretch, right? So you were probably even enjoying okay, tug on me a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Like it was like, I'm one of those ones I like doing like CrossFit. Like, I just want to do CrossFit. I want to do the gymnastics and CrossFit. I don't want to do this bodybuilding accessory shit. And then obviously my coach and Elliot and stuff were like, no, you need to do this to get stronger, do your bodybuilding. So I was obviously not really paying attention. I was just getting it done. And out it went, and it was horrific few hours. I have to say.
And you knew it was out.
Yeah, it was like I was in a t-shirt, luckily, so I couldn't really see it. But literally, my obviously like head of my shoulder was like in my armpit. So I couldn't
God.
And obviously, and you get to A&E, and you're like, can someone just put it back in? And obviously, they're got to X-ray it and check everything, and then put it. And it took like 2 people yanking on me just to get it back in. So it was a horrific experience. And after that, I was like, just keep that shoulder in.
A&E's the hospital system or something over there?
Yeah, like what is that? Accident and emergency.
Okay. And now you see, like I watch the UFC, and you see a guy dislocates his shoulder, and someone in the corner will just put it back in.
No, I wish I'm pretty sure Andy, my coach, and Elliot were like, when I was screaming, like
Yeah.
looking up on their phone how to do it, and they were like,
Yeah.
just. And I think as well, it depends where it comes out. Like,
Yeah.
now up here, they had to like lift my arm up and like yank on it here to like click it back in. But apparently, you can put it back in wrong, and like nerves and stuff get fucked up a bit.
Yeah. Twisted.
Yeah, so they X-ray it, and then they have a special way of putting it back in, and yeah, it was grim. But yeah, the UFC lot, I guess if the quicker you put it back in, the less you feel. I don't know.
And then it happened again 3 months later.
Yeah, doing a snatch. So obviously I rehabbed
Oh
it stuff.
man.
Yeah, I rehabbed it and everything, and like I could do muscle ups, I could do handstand walk, could do everything, and then I think it was like a 70-kilo snatch, and just here, and then it just sort of like dropped out again. Same thing all over again. I kind of knew it a bit more this time, so I knew the system. Get in, wait, get your X-ray, get it put back in.
They had to X-ray it again. You couldn't just be like, "Hey, this happened before." It's this kind of.
No. Apparently, you got to X-ray it every time.
Okay, and then so that was then from there. It ends up being 18 months of basic rehab because you missed the games twice, right?
Yeah. Well, no. So I had surgery about this time 2 years ago, and then it's like a year. Well, I did it a little bit faster than a year recovery, and then competed that next season, and I didn't qualify out of Victoria, and I got 5th. So yeah, so it was like I was back competing, but I obviously just wasn't up to par, and yeah, I didn't make it 2022, and then yeah, and now this year comes around and got in there.
When they do the surgery, what do they do?
So I had ladder jet surgery. It's very common in rugby, to be fair. So you've got your corticoid process that connects your bicep tendon connects to that bone. So they cut the bone, they take the bone out of there,
Nelly.
and then drill it into your scapula. So then when you lift your arm up, it's kind of like instead of it coming out, it like will hit that bone.
Yeah.
And, bicep tendon is like a sling. So it's like blocked. So it's like a bone block, basically. So yeah, it took a while to get that range.
Oh no. Hey, did you lose range of motion?
Yeah, so they were quite worried about like gymnastics and stuff, but
Yeah.
I found the gymnastics fine to come back to, but I did take me still taking me a while to get back like overhead position, snatches and jerks and things. But it's more just for me, it's just like the confidence of it.
Yeah. And it's never popped out since?
No, touch wood.
Yeah. Oh, touch wood. That's two people in a row touched wood on this show. And Haynes touched some wood on the show.
Really?
Yeah, I've never. That's been nothing that's ever happened on the show. No wood touching. Tommy Payne. My dad used to snap my knees back in place when I was a kid.
God, that's
horrific.
I feel like knees would be even worse.
My knee.
Yeah.
Look at the toughest guy. This is the toughest guy in the audience. Even he's sweating. He don't like it. Oh my goodness.
It's grim.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Here we go. Scott Schweitzer. I dislocated my pinky. Scott.
Oh.
Scott, your pinky. Scott.
Yeah, but
you sound like me. What a sissy. You sound like me. And almost passed out. I love Scott.
You can even put that one back in yourself.
Did you think you would come back and ever make it to the games again after this 2 years of struggle?
A few people have asked me that lately. It's funny because it's something that never really crossed my mind. I think I'm one of those people who I don't really look too far ahead. And I sort of I don't know. I've had shoulder surgery before. I've had other Achilles. I've had a few surgeries before. And I just sort of you just want to get back to training. Like that's all that I wanted at first, get back to training. So build up that way. And then you get back to training. You're like, okay, I want to try get closer to what I used to lift. I want to, compete in this. And it was sort of step by step. I never really thought, oh, this is like the end of my career. I just kept going. And then obviously, it's always been my goal to get back to the CrossFit Games. And I don't know, it never really slipped my mind to be like, oh no, this is me done. I think I still feel young, even though I might not be.
I'm trying to relate to it, and I like it. It's kind of like I used to hurt my back, and I didn't really care. I'd be like, okay, so I'll just take Vicodin and drink wine and sit on the couch for a week.
Double V. I know.
Yeah, just be whacked out of my brain. And
Yeah.
then once I had kids and I would hurt my back, and I
Mm.
never thought I just once I had kids, I was like, "Hey, I can't be hurt like this."
Mm. 'Cause
And
they
so,
need.
like, I would then instead of trying to do RX weights, I would literally take the women's weight and then cut it in half. I'd be like, "Dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just need to be able to just be with my kids."
Yeah.
I
But
I
then
I
you
just
also still wanna, like, work out. So you
I did wanna, yeah, but I didn't care. Then all of a sudden, I didn't care what my deadlift was. I didn't care how many, like, I didn't care. It just was like, "Hey, dude,
priorities.
I just need to be healthy." And so, basically, you were put in a situation where I'm guessing you lost your arm and you're just like, "Hey, I need my arm back."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then once you got your arm back, you're like, "Okay, I need my mobility back." And once you got your mobility back, and you just started piling it back up. And then
Yeah.
it was kinda weird for the first time in 5 years. This is gonna sound like a joke to you, but I deadlifted 295 just on accident a couple months ago.
Yeah. Like,
After not deadlifting over 200 pounds for years.
yeah. Everyone
But
says that. It's like you don't put an emphasis on it.
yep, but I didn't care. Yeah, I'm just like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, whatever."
Yeah. Yeah. That's really cool. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes you overthink things and overdo things that it almost inhibits yourself. But when you bring that step back and you almost appreciate like the smaller things you can do, or your priorities change, then different things happen.
You
It's
realize your health is the most important thing you have.
oh yeah, it's
Did
crazy.
you go through that? You're like, "Shit, I just need to be able to move."
Yeah, I think it's happened to me multiple times. Just like every injury, you're just like, oh no, I appreciate that I can do this. Or even like I've had a few shoulder surgeries, and even being able to tie your hair up. Like I get so sick of Elliot trying to wash my hair, trying to do this,
Wow.
just like little things like that. And you're like,
Wow.
yeah, I just want to go back to normal life. So I think, yeah, it sort of brings you back down to earth.
Bruce Wayne. Hi, Jamie, for behind the scenes burger fun. Wow. Thanks,
Okay,
Mr. Wayne. Tank
sweet.
Reeves from Canada. How do you feel about young people like Olivia competing in the big leagues? Do you think, given Mal and Haley emotional state, it's a good idea? Do you think that do you think that there's an age um, that's not appropriate to compete at the highest level?
Mm, I don't think so. Like these girls, like they're young, but as well, they're performing up to it, so why not? I think as long as they're sort of guided the right way, and as well, it's like they're such good athletes that it is hard not to put pressure on yourself when you are that good. I think almost like if they just sort of like again take a step, like they don't, a lot of them don't sort of have the same injuries, but like take a step back and just enjoy what they're doing, and not having that, it's easier said than done, not having the pressure on them, then they're going to last a lot longer. And as well, like who's to say that it was just CrossFit that brought that upon people? Like it could be, pressures of social media, but that could come even not with CrossFit. Like that could just be being in the spotlight. I think, I think if you're around the right people, that sort of build you up and as well keep you down to earth at the same time, then that you can build through like anyone else. It doesn't matter the age.
What about just regular soul searching that I think a healthy 20-year-old goes through, and that's really all that they're doing? Like, I mean, I got rid of everything I owned and made myself homeless in my 20s because I wanted to, yeah, because I wanted to find the answer. I wanted to find like God. I wanted to find like where we come from. Where was I before I was born? Where am I going after I'm dead?
Yeah.
Is the earth a magical place? What kind of strangers can I meet? I mean,
Wow.
isn't that normal?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to have some sort of breakdown in your 20s where you're like, oh my God, what? I've been in school since I've been 5. Isn't it
Yeah.
smart? Like, what?
Been basically told what to do since I
Yeah,
was.
who the fuck am I? Isn't there supposed to, like, I see Mal and Haley and I'm like, yeah, that's seems pretty normal to me.
Yeah, yeah, and like as well, like they could have their breakdown now and next year come back better than they've ever been. Or
Right.
I think as well, yeah, it's a great time.
Did you have one, Jamie? Did you have a like in your 20s? You're like, what am I doing with my life? Did you ever have a like?
I feel like when I actually started CrossFit, my mum actually bought it for me because she was like, "You're literally just playing rugby, going out in the piss, and not really going to university."
What's that mean? Going out on the piss, like to
Like,
drink?
yeah, like going
Okay,
out drinking.
okay, okay.
And I was probably what 20, and I think maybe from when I was like 18 to 2022 was just like I'll just do what I want. I'm at uni, you can study a bit, but I would just, play rugby, go out, party, whatever. And I had always been so into sport as well. And I don't know, maybe my rugby was not going so well either. But my mum sort of came across me and was like, well, why don't you try, like she's seen me do gymnastics all through my life, athletics, all like basketball, lots of sports. So she was like, why don't you try this? And then, yeah, that sort of like got me a bit more on the straight and narrow. And it ended up leading me to Abu Dhabi and carried on through like that. So I think, yeah, mine might have been spread out a bit longer through high school and uni. But then, yeah, you sort of have those moments and then you appreciate, getting your life back on track and where it leads you. So.
And for women, well, I guess for anyone also, I mean, there's going to be stuff like that as you get older too. Like, are you going to have kids? Where are you going to retire?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you're there yet, but you're probably 5 or 10 years away. There's a point in your life where you're like, ooh, I'm a little tired.
Yeah. I think as well, it's hard for Elliot and myself because we're from different places. We met like.
Why?
Like,
where's he from? Where's he from?
He's from England.
Okay.
So from the UK. And so we're like been a little bit of nomads the last few years. One day, obviously, I want to end up in New Zealand, and I don't know when, but definitely want to end up back there. And obviously, that's taking him away from his home. And you're all like we've been nomads, and for the last few years we've been a little bit like, so what are we doing with our life?
Yeah.
But as well, again, you do want to have a little bit of a plan, but as well, you got to see what turns up.
Yeah.
Like we've had this opportunity to come to Virginia, train with all the guys at Krypton, and like we wouldn't be able to do that if we were just back, working a full-time job in the Middle East and doing that. But we've been able to come over here and 5-6 weeks training with some of the best in the world, and you don't always get that, so it's pretty cool. It's good to have a plan, but not a full plan.
Yeah. Hey, just to put that in perspective too, at 32, I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't find CrossFit till I was 34. And
Wow.
I think I was living at home with my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like,
yeah,
there's no rule, is there? It's like, do as you please.
Yeah. How long have you and Elliot been together?
9 years. Yeah. Married. Wow. 3.5.
And did you have to give anything up in your athletic career to get married, or did that help it more? Like it was kind of like a relief, like you could close down a whole. I don't know, like you just when you're finally committed to just one person, you can kind of close this section of the world off. I don't want to say you close it off, but you don't have to call it just flirting with the other sex is too simple. But was that nice? Like you got married and then you what?
Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I think
like you're free. Like you're free because you have or some people, if they're not ready and they get married, it could be a burden. Say it again.
I said, or not free. It might be the opposite.
Right. I mean, for me, it was freedom.
Yeah. I think I've been with Elliot since I first moved to the Middle East. And yeah, it's always just been like, he's, especially with CrossFit and just life in general, he's just so good at motivating you to sort of be better. Especially for me, like sometimes I can be a bit, useless, but lazy sometimes, but he's very like rigid, knows what he wants. And it's really nice to have someone like that in your life to keep you pursuing, your best self as such. And I think like when we got married, it was life just sort of went on the same. I think we've sort of had that like connection and just knowing it's sort of been like that since, early on in our relationship. Even though we were young and he was even younger, he likes to let everyone know.
I like the way you described him like that.
Yeah.
You're a powerful human being, but you who can handle themselves in the world, and yet you found this man who he's driven. He knows what he wants.
Yeah.
And you can still get done what you want to get done in life while being with him.
Yeah, 100%. And and he will never try be someone he's not. And I think that, it's really nice being around someone like that.
What does that mean? Give me an example.
Like, say the crowd want to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Very prime example sometimes in CrossFit. If that's not if that's against his morals, he will not like someone like me, I might just be like, oh yeah, whatever, you do what you please. Like he will let people know his opinion, especially if he's got a very strong opinion on something. And I think that's nice because
He needs a podcast. He needs a
yeah,
podcast.
he does. Honestly, I'm like, yeah, especially because we're quite opposite like that, which is nice because, you know, I get to see that side of the world. Whereas I'm a lot more laid back and just like, you know, let people do what they want, Al. You don't have to, you know, always tell everyone everything, but it's nice as well. You know, people appreciate it.
I like him.
Mm.
Or
It might be
yeah.
a very long podcast if you were on there with him.
When your mom, you're in New Zealand, and what year is it that your mom, and you're in the uni, and your
That was
mom buys you a CrossFit membership? That's what she did. Did she buy you like a punch card, or like what did
yeah,
she get
probably
you?
like a 6-week pass sort of thing.
And what year was that?
That was in 2013.
And so you're like becoming a woman at that time. You're like 18.
2013, I was probably about 20.
20, okay.
21. I think I started when I was like 21, 22.
And were you living at home and doing uni?
No, I was in a flat. With like
Same city as your mom?
Yeah.
And can you tell me like the details of how she? I know, isn't it crazy? Yeah. Michael Banyan, $20 again. Thank you. Such a classy person. Yeah, you do exude class.
Thank you.
Yeah, you look like maybe like you own a chain of jewelry stores or something. Like you're very classy. I want to hear the details of like how she presents that to you.
Oh no, she literally just gave it to me as a Christmas present.
Like it's in an envelope and you open it up and you're like, oh,
Merry
this
Christmas.
sucks. This isn't even money.
Yeah. Merry Christmas. Yeah, go to CrossFit. Oh yeah, I'll try that in a few months maybe. That's what I said.
And so there's like a certificate in there that says like 6 weeks on-ramp course or some shit.
Yeah. It was actually like a 6 weeks ladies camp, I think. And then I went to the class and the guy was like, oh, you can just do the normal classes if you want.
Wow, because he saw your capability so quickly.
Yeah, it was like I went to a class that was like all gymnastic stuff. I was like, oh yeah, this is fine.
And had you heard about CrossFit before then?
Yeah, because I was studying PE at uni, so you'd think I'd be a bit more active. But so obviously like there's personal training, there's sports coaching, there's sports management, all involved in that, and obviously you learn about lots of different sports. And yeah, I think like, and you're kind of doing CrossFit. I was training at another gym, and I was personal training people as well, and you kind of did CrossFit sort of stuff. I went to a CrossFit gym, so then when I went there, loved it.
You did love it. Were you you weren't judging the coaches? You're like, okay, they're doing that wrong. Oh, that keeping pull-up is so stupid. What are they doing? You didn't do any of that.
No, I'm not a very judging person. I think I just, I remember doing my like first time trying to do an overhead squat though, just wasn't happening.
I'm going to tell you something just there when you said, I'm not a very judgy person. Like the 3% of the people in the audience who weren't sure whether to like you or not just fell in love with you. You just did it. That was a home. I'm not a very judgy person. That was all. She needs like pearls. I could see it, and a Titanic ticket. I totally see it. Yes.
All right.
You have a timeless element about you. I see it. Yes. Very Say it again.
Maybe it's just the accent.
A very romantic character. No, it's more. There's more. There's more than just an accent there. And look at Dan Guerrero, when his wife bought him a CrossFit membership and said, "Happy anniversary, stop being weak." Oh man.
I love it. Just a subtle hint.
Drew P. Balls. That's the first time I've seen you in the comments, Drew P. Balls. Very nice of you to join us. Jamie, don't laugh. Don't laugh. Pretend like you don't notice it. You either love Jamie or you're wrong. My goodness.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. And so she gives it to you. You go there, and are you just addicted?
Not straight away. I think one of my good friends he became good friends, and now he works at Yes. He trained there as well, so I started training with him more, and I think that's what I sort of grew my love from CrossFit from there. Sort of training, with friends, with the classes, and then as I got better at it, that's when I started liking it more. I think. But yeah, again, it was just like the people that I met along the way really made me fall in love with it a lot more.
Crazy community, working
Mm,
out with those people.
funny that.
And you were an athlete, a lady from a team sport, rugby,
Yeah.
and you loved the community and the friendship and
Like, right, yeah, rugby's awesome for that, and I think the thing is as well, I do miss that. Like, I enjoy it when I do team and CrossFit and that, but I think it's really nice in team sports, sort of not just relying on yourself, but also pushing through, not just for yourself, but for your team. And I think I do really enjoy team CrossFit as well because of that background. I think, it's not like, it's not you just suffering in the trenches, it's you and you're doing it for the people around you. So you've got to really like your team as well.
and then you also did gymnastics, which is just a bunch of contemptuous bitches. So you had a nice balance.
Yeah,
Oh, great job.
yeah,
Great job on the high bars. I hope you
yeah.
fucking
I don't
fall
know.
off next time.
Where I'm from, they're not too bad like that.
They're
I don't,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right. All right.
Quite
You're a
down to
good
earth Kiwi.
you're a good dude. I'm gonna write down here. She doesn't notice when she's around bitches. Okay, she doesn't notice.
That's actually probably a true story though.
Okay. And so you start doing it, and when does the at some point are you like, this lifestyle of partying isn't going to work with this CrossFit thing? I want to be better at this CrossFit thing, because nutrition's at the bottom of the pyramid. Do you remember when you discovered that, when you're like, oh, what is this nutrition thing?
Yeah, I think I was pretty good with my nutrition when pretty good. I got better, but I would still try fit in the partying, definitely, and that also didn't help. So I
Right.
think I
Like
tried
just
to
drink on
balance.
Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, still
Yeah.
still
Okay.
try to balance it out. But yeah, when I started sort of, I think it was when I moved to the Middle East. I moved to Abu Dhabi and around like Elliot and Anthony, who's my coach now. He was one of the first coaches at Yes. When I was around those guys and just seeing like, day in, day out training, eating well, just coaching, not going out on the weekends. That's sort of when, you see the progress and you see yourself actually getting better. And you're like, oh, okay, if I, keep at this and don't sort of sway off every weekend, then you see the improvement a lot quicker. So I think it was that transition from being at home in New Zealand over to working and sort of living that life.
Get the pat. By the way, you just called someone Anthony, and I didn't understand. Now I understand why they call Ant, because in the I'm so slow. In the United States, it's Anthony.
Yeah, well, it depends. It's
And so,
both.
oh,
Yeah,
it is both there.
yeah. So it depends if your name is Anthony or Anthony, because one's with an H and one is without.
Yeah, Anthony would be just more like how like you wouldn't say that in the United States unless like you were from the hood or something.
Oh, okay.
Let me ask Anthony something. You know what I mean? But in English, so I just didn't know how they got Ant, but now I get it. Ant.
Yeah.
I just heard you the way you said it, and it's like, okay, because we would call him like Tony or
Oh, okay.
you know what I mean, or we would have it, but I'd never met an Ant before. But now I get it because I heard you refer to an Ant. But you guys also have Anthony's. These are my friends, Anthony and Anthony.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like
Shit, that's some complicated shit. All right.
It is.
Okay. So 2013, you go to the 2013 you go to the CrossFit gym, and then how do you in 2017 how do you in 2016 make it to the teams? Are you already in Abu Dhabi at that point, or Dubai?
We're in Abu Dhabi, yeah. So we actually competed team in 2015, and then we got disqualified. So CrossFit Yes, we qualified second at the Europe region that year. And then we got disqualified because one of the girls came on the 7th of January and apparently had moved to Abu Dhabi on the 7th of January and apparently had to be there on the 1st. Didn't know that rule. I don't think even we were going to go team at that point, but we found that out after, or someone told CrossFit about that or whatever. So we got disqualified. And obviously I was gutted, we were going to go to the games and we didn't get to. And I would have, young new CrossFitter really wanted to go to the games, especially Elliot. He was so upset about that. But then so we made it, a thing. The next year, if we'd gone to the games, I probably would have gone individual in 2016, but we didn't make it. Since we got disqualified, I was like, we definitely have to try that again. So 2016, we did team again and went to the games, and then we got third.
Well, and how did you guys end up going from New Zealand to? How did you end up going from New Zealand to Abu Dhabi?
Oh, I got a job as like a home personal trainer.
How
So
did you find that? Just online?
no, one of the girls that I used to do gymnastics with years ago at home, she was the manager of a company there. And she was like, "Do you want to come work as a PT or a personal trainer over in Abu Dhabi?" Didn't know where it was. I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because I went to America first to do like a summer camp, worked on a
I-
summer camp, and then just moved to Abu Dhabi after that.
Jamie, did you ever have Olympic aspirations?
No,
No.
don't think
Okay.
so. No, because I never really did like gymnastics. I was way off that. New Zealand, we're not really quite up there with the rest of the world and some of the gymnastic stuff. Um, Rugby, to be fair, actually, when Sevens got into the Olympics, I was like, oh, maybe I could pursue this. But then that's
When who did? When who did?
the rugby sevens.
Oh,
So,
oh, oh, oh.
because I played sevens for a little bit, which is the same as normal rugby, but with only 7 people, and they hit in 7-minute halves. So they have that at the Olympics now. But I'd started CrossFit then, and yeah, but that would have been pretty cool.
And so you, at some point you just knew you were good at CrossFit, like somewhere between 2013, 2014, 2015. And what year? And then you got the job there. And when you went there, was one of the first things you did look up? Are there CrossFit gyms in Abu
Yeah,
Dhabi?
well, actually, the girl who hired me was training at CrossFit, yes, and she took me there, and yeah,
Oh,
actually,
wow.
yeah, yeah. So
What a trippy journey you've been on.
yeah, and I used to just like sneak in. Basically, I used to just walk in, start training, and Fraser, one of the guys who he works for Pliability now. Yeah, he would be on front desk, but he'd be too nervous to say anything to me. So I think I got away with it for like 2 or 3 weeks, just walking into the gym and just training. And then the boys hired me after that anyway.
And why was he too nervous to say anything to you? He was just
I don't
shy.
know, probably just
Oh.
because he was like, well, he was young. He's like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And he was like, oh, I can't say anything. I'll just let it go in.
Crazy. And what happened to that job with the what did you say you did?
When?
What,
Personal training at
yeah, what happened to that job? You just kept doing that?
so I did that for like 6 weeks, and then it was a lot of travel around Abu Dhabi. So I was like trying to train at Yes, and then travel to people's houses, train them back and
Like
forth.
what kind of people? Like women who didn't want to train in public?
Yeah, and just anyone who had gyms at their house.
Okay.
It's quite a big demand over there. Like they've got busy lives, and if you've got a gym at your house, why not get a trainer to come to your house? So yeah, I had quite a few clients there, but then Yes needed a female coach because they only had the 2 boys and now, and yeah, so then I just started working there, and it made life a lot easier. I could work, train, work, train. We worked a lot back in those days.
And then you started qualifying for the games.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Elliot your coach?
So Anthony's my coach. He programs and stuff. And then Elliot has been my coach at the games. But they're like, so Al and Ant is Al's best friend. So it's pretty good for me because they talk all the time. And I've got Ant as coach and Elliot as husband/coach.
Man, what a cool journey you're on. It's kind of like you left. Yeah, you're on a cool journey. Part of it's got like this. Okay, I'm going out into the world with my backpack or my stick with that like red thing on it.
It was
And
legit like that.
and you're still out there doing it.
Yeah, yeah. It's so cool just seeing. It's the people you meet and then the opportunities you get because of these different people. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's hard as well because like I find it really hard being away from home for so long all the time, especially over COVID. That was like 3 years. And I miss home so much because I love New Zealand. But as well, I can always go back there. And at the moment, I want to meet all these people, and you learn so much about yourself and about the rest of the world just being out in it. That one day I can take that back to New Zealand and build something there.
Yeah, crazy. God, and it sounds like you're having a blast. Like yeah, you're free. There's a freedom to it.
Yeah. Well, you know what it's like in CrossFit as well. Like you've got this similar sort of, everyone's into sort of the same thing, but then everyone's from such different backgrounds. Like even the difference between like Americans and the Brits. Like it's just such different culture, and it's nice learning about where people come from, and like especially coming over here to the US, like where CrossFit started, it yeah, it's just so cool seeing like the roots of it. Like we've been obviously staying with Alec and that and Ben's parents, and just seeing like we were saying like the the cul-de-sac where Ben used to do his workouts or whatever. Like yeah, you see that's like CrossFit essence. So it's very cool.
Would you want to train a games athlete in 10 years? Jamie Simmonds would have a
Like as a coach?
yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to help out. I don't think I think I could help with some things, but I think that's more like Elliot's side. He's a very, very, very good coach, but he's not like he wants to keep competing. So I think one day when he's finished competing, he will pursue the whole coaching thing, because he's very good at not just like the physical part, but like the mental side of it as well. I've found.
And do you have plans for the games this year? Do you have like is there a you look out over Thursday to Sunday and you have an agenda?
I don't know. It's funny. Like I feel because the last time I was actually at the games was 2019, and that seems so long ago. So for me, I just want to sort of like, and it always feels like it goes so fast, and you forget things. So I think this time, now that it's been so long, I just want to go and like sort of enjoy each day and like not think about the rest of the weekend. Just like, which to be fair, I'm actually better at like going all out in one workout and struggling for the rest, but that's all right. So sort of just go into each workout as if like, this is it. Just put your mind all in that and enjoy that.
Man, there's some incredible pictures of you on this Instagram.
Here we go.
Look at this. Oh my goodness.
The photographers here, they're really good.
That's at Krypton?
Yeah. It's been so cool training here.
So is there more to do, or are you done? I mean, in this picture, like when you look at this picture, are you done, or is there like,
no,
no, you're in the middle of the war?
Yeah, I think I'm in the middle of it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You're throwing that bag back and forth over that thing?
Yeah.
Over the yoke?
With some burpees and a few jump overs.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at you.
That's the fun stuff though, isn't it? Better than machines and things.
What a beast. Are you, when you go over that, are you clearing that bar, or are you touching it on the way over?
I think I did a bit of both.
In the beginning, you're just flying over?
Yeah, and at the end, I'm hanging over it.
Yeah, these are cool. These are all photos. Someone's taking these at Krypton and giving them to you?
Yeah. There's a guy, Glenn, who takes photos there.
Oh, look at this thing. Okay, so can you smell? Who is that? Elliot?
Yeah.
Oh, does he smell good?
It always smells.
Always,
good.
yeah.
Always do this. It's one of those.
Hey,
that always smells good.
There's definitely some performance enhancing smells coming off of him right there. He's like giving you like some male scents that are taking you to the next level.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing you're holding is miserable. I hate even the thought of that thing with rubber bands on it.
That's been so good though for my shoulder.
It has?
Yeah. I would say that to anyone who's got bad shoulders.
You just do static holds with that?
Static holds or walking or presses or even bench press and bench press holds.
Yeah, God, I hate that sensation of that thing like wiggling out there.
It's hard.
Good on you. That's not like the fun stuff. Oh, is this a sister?
Yeah.
Holy cow, you guys look alike.
Yeah. So she's actually in the UK at the moment trying to qualify for Worlds for running.
Oh, wow. So it's a family full of athletes.
Yeah, she's a very good runner. Yeah. So she runs 1500s, like track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she beanpole? No. They're still she is? Yeah,
so she's taller, skinnier. Yeah.
What a trip to see your genetics express themselves in two different ways, right?
Yeah,
You're like, hey, this is if you go this way, this is if you go this way.
Yeah, definitely. It's it's very interesting. So hopefully, if she qualifies, then I'm sure we'll be traveling around somewhere else to watch her. But I think she's going to come over and watch the games anyway.
Oh. You think?
Well, she's not sure yet because she depends where she needs to travel for running.
I need to tell you something that you may not know. The games start in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days.
I know. Yeah, she's a bit like me, the last minute planner.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. I'd love to talk to you for like 3 hours sometime and just hear your whole story. Man, what a cool journey you've been on.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you have some great stories of being trapped in airports and not knowing where you're gonna
oh,
stay and falling in love, and you have some
no,
great
it's gonna
stories
be
I'd love to
fine,
hear.
and I wouldn't ever change it for the world.
Awesome. All right, I'll see you in 7 days.
Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
Safe travels, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Say hi. Wait, say hi to Ben for me, please.
I will.
Say hi to Ben Smith. Thank you. All right,
Yeah,
good.
the whole
All right.
squad.
Okay.
See you.
Ciao. Jamie Simmonds. Wow, she's cool. Droopy balls. 6 days until Jamie's the hottest woman on the floor in Madison. That's a cool chick. Man, she exudes some confidence. Oh, poor Jason Smith. Did he really pop? Please tell me. Please tell me it's not true. That sucks. Oh, no. Jason Smith failed drug test and will not compete at the CrossFit Games. Oh, that sucks, dude. Oh, damn. How does that, no. Greg Glassman, can I have my chair back? No. That sucks. That sucks. Do you know what, though? I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. That sucks. I guess I'm texting with a friend. Fuck. Oh my goodness. Um because you know why I feel bad for him? I just automatically, when they say someone popped, I think, what would I pretend like I'm him. Like, that's just all I think. Yeah, but I don't look at him as an old man who's cheating. Like, like, I always kind of like look at everyone like, oh shit, what if that was me? Um, so I feel bad for him. Well, I feel bad if he took it. I just picture myself being him and like being called out. Like, I picture all of it. So I go from him being called out to like getting caught, and like how like that probably bums him out. And then I think about probably how bummed he was that he even started taking them, right? He probably feels like maybe he wishes he wouldn't have taken them because now he has to guard a secret his whole life. I don't know. I just keep thinking. I mean, not ever, but it takes me a while before I'm like, okay, he took someone else's place. I don't go there first. I just think of how someone else must feel. Can we sort the yellow situation on the California peptide sign, please? I know what can someone fit? It's Souza does a million things. He coaches people. He makes graphics. I mean, he's just learning on the fly. So he made that, and I thought it was cool. What don't you like? Capeptides.com. What don't you like about it? Ooh, I'm feeling good right now. um I'm sorry, I'm texting and driving. Douche. My friends is fucking with me so hard right now. I don't like it. Uh, Patrick Clark, this could ruin him. He's a big deal in South Africa, makes a living on fitness there. Yeah, I don't want it to do that. I don't want it to do that. I'm not doing so much weight vest training. I'm to be honest with you, you want to hear something crazy, Kenneth? I put both my cameras on for like just 10 minutes walking around the house, and I was filming my kids holding it, and I felt this pain in the middle of my back that I haven't felt since the last time I filmed, and I forgot about that pain. Um, and it's going to be interesting. It's like and I've been texting with other camera guys who've just been reaching so many people. It's crazy. So many people have been reaching out to me. People who were like just bona fide haters are reaching out to me and saying, congratulations, can't wait to see you. I'm being cool as shit too. I'm like, yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let bygones be bygones. I don't say that part. I just play stupid. I do appreciate it. I'm a sucker for love or perceived love. No, I'm not going to pop Vicodin, but yeah, I do need a no one blew my back out. It's just that I forgot. There's this weird tension you get in your back. It just comes with the game. It just comes with the game. Elise Bowen. God, I love people who have profile pictures like this because it just makes me smile. I feel Sevon, are there any other ways to contribute to the behind the scenes? It's my understanding YouTube takes a significant cut if we donate through the platform. You know, to be honest, even if I did need help, I wouldn't ask for it. Let me. That's interesting. You know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what I think is going to happen. So the way the behind the scenes works is you don't have much of a plan. You go there and we're going to try to follow some narratives, right? So let's say I'll try to. Ant Haynes looks like he'd be great, right? And I don't mean to like diss him or nothing, but what a great journey. He may only make it 6 workouts and get cut, and there's a great story there. So you get 10 of those, and then they're all. I'll try to interview all the athletes who want to play, but there'll be these threads that keep going through, right? Or there'll be some situation where some equipment doesn't show up from Rogue, and you see Dave trying to deal with that, or there'll be all these narrative threads that going in the behind the scenes that kind of take you through to the end, right? Maybe lots of shots of Medeiros' crew in the audience and interviews with his parents as a thread, and just different pieces. And then we'll get home at the end, and someone will have to edit that, and I will not be able to edit that. I will not. I don't have 2 seconds in my life that make me want to do that. And so that's an expensive process. Some really cool people have reached out to me. Sarah Cox at capeptides.com is like taking on a huge burden. And to be honest, I haven't talked about this much. Two Brain, Chris Cooper, that guy I've had on a few times from Canada. He's like, hey, dude, I think one of the best things, if not the best thing people can do for affiliates is make really cool content. He's big. He's old school as shit. He believes media. And so he has, I don't want to get carried away, but he's committed some pretty insane resources to help get this thing across the finish line. And there's some other people who've helped too, that have been very generous also. Toe Spacers, Swolverine recently has been talking with Souza. There's people who just want to help get this thing across the finish line. So, yeah. So there's that. Lori Roken, 9.99. You look like you're in the Baltic Sea, where who did we interview yesterday? Uldis. Hey, dude, I got to have Uldis back on and crack the code on that dude. I really want to do that. Patrick Clark, so you're not bringing any editors who will put out some content during the games. We do have people like that. I just have to be super duper careful right now because of the this is just ridiculous to say this, but the sensitive nature of my participation. So I want to make sure, which is just completely ridiculous. I just want to make sure that the content that I put out will make Don and Dave and Heather Lawrence, she's the director of operations for the CrossFit Games, and Adrian Bosman. I just wanted people to be proud of it. I don't want to do like, I don't want to cause any, so I'm not eager to rush anything out. I know. I thank you. I appreciate you saying that. You don't have to explain. I want to explain. I love you guys. This is dope. You guys are my posse. Hey, listen, the truth is there's absolutely no fucking pressure on me, like zero. And I was telling my wife this because of you guys. The posse that hangs out with me every morning here, after the whole games are over, I get to crawl back to my studio, the Three Plain Brothers Empire Palatial Estate, and I get to wake up every morning and be like, "Hey, Rambler, what's up? You're first." You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you guys have helped me roll deep, and I don't want to say confidence isn't the right word, but I feel very relaxed, exceedingly relaxed, and proud. I don't know. I always get confused about being proud. You're not supposed to be proud, but I'm proud. It's not humility, that's for sure. Oh yes, please, yes. Text me. Hey, there's this lady we're having on in an hour and 18 minutes. Her name is Noelle Henderson. There's not a lot of information on her. I couldn't find a lot of information on her on Instagram, and she does have a couple interesting videos out on YouTube, a handful of videos. She has something called cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy. It's some muscular mishap. I'll ask her all about it. The way I kind of have it understood in my simple brain from something Caleb pulled up the other day is like your wiring got all crossed in the making of your body. And so you have some misfirings and it jacks your muscles up. So your shit don't work like perfect. Like I guess you can't tell all your toes or feet or hands, or different people have it to different degrees. And so you can't make your shit work right. But you can. My wife in the early years, she had found a girl at the high school over the hill who had cerebral palsy, who had to wear a helmet because her muscles were misfiring so bad that she was like falling down and bumping into shit, and she had to stay in a wheelchair. And this group, my wife did a video on this girl at the high school girl who started doing CrossFit, and she got through CrossFit, she got control over shit, and then she didn't need her helmet or the wheelchair anymore. Oh yeah, the Jedediah, you know her? Yeah, I'm stoked. Yeah, she's cool. Pretty girl too, really pretty. I guess most of the CrossFitters. Funny, right? You work out and eat right, and you get pretty. Anyway, she. And Jedediah will be on the show tonight. By the way, we will all get to see Jedediah Snelson on the CrossFit Games Update show. That show is going to be wild tonight because the crew's getting cantankerous. Wild. Everyone's getting excited. But so this girl trains at CrossFit Crash with J.R. Howell, and she is the #1 contender in what they call the multiple extremity class, meaning we'll ask her, but I think that just means like you're not just like missing a hand or something, but you got something like with the whole system, like I guess systemically is like not like how what the rest of us take for granted. Like you got to work through some shit, I guess. We'll find out. We'll ask her. But I'm excited to have her on. She'll be competing at the games. I'm wondering how stressed out JR is, because JR is going to be coaching her. There's some cool videos of her and JR together. There's a lot. If you just type in Noelle Henderson, Noelle, and then Henderson. Hold on a second. Hey, dude, I'm doing a podcast.
Listen, I just wanted to ask you, how's it feel to know that you support the dirtiest sport?
Oh, shut it. Jeez Louise. Hunter McIntyre. My goodness. He's busting my balls because of Jason Smith. Inappropriate. I feel bad for Jason. My goodness. Yeah, Crash family loves Noelle. There's a great video of her like giving people high fives on the bench as they run by her. Yeah, people should be proud of her. Miss Burns, you can be proud. We are awesome. Yeah, you guys are awesome. It's a posse here. Droopy balls. I mean, JR is missing a tooth. Shouldn't he be qualified as adaptive? Just ugly, just fugly. No one's ever called. No one's ever called JR fugly. Anyway, so she's coming on at 10. We are trying to actively get some people from someone from CrossFit on to talk. Oh. If you are going to the CrossFit Games, we'll talk about this more. If you are going to the CrossFit Games, make sure that you sign up for the 5K run. It sounds like Heber and Mars and Craig Ritchie might run it. There's a group like 5 run. They asked me if I want to run it. Like, I can't run that shit. I'm going to be working. Which isn't really much of an excuse because, you know, Craig and Heber and Mars will be working, but they're going to run it. But there's a 5K run. I'm trying to find the email. And you can sign up for it. You got to sign up for it on the CrossFit Games app. And it's for everyone. It's for everyone at the CrossFit Games. It would be cool if a ton of people did it. And if you're going to the CrossFit Games, make sure you watch that video that Rory just put out on Mayhem. It sounds like the RV park is going to be going off. Oh, you got Heber and Mars on your show today? Okay, awesome. Okay, so if you want to hear more what Heber and Mars are doing, go over to Get With The Programming. They'll be on there today. That's what they do. Their content is working out and filming. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, Patrick. Patrick Clark, Poirier or Gaethje. I will tell you this. On Saturday, tonight, my wife's ordering 5 pounds of brisket. And tomorrow, after I do my morning podcast with Greg Glassman and my 3:30 podcast, which is the CrossFit Games update show with Tyler Watkins, Jedediah Snelson, and the gang. Snelson. What kind of name is Snelson? Snelson. Mr. Snelson. Jedediah Snelson. I'm going to eat brisket all day. That's all I'm eating tomorrow. Brisket. I just asked my wife if she could get it from the local barbecue shop tonight so I could just eat it all day tomorrow. It's all I'm going to eat tomorrow. Brisket. And then when I'm done, I'll take a picture for you guys and post on my Instagram. I have all my camera gear laid out in my living room right now. It's been laid out there for a week. It's crazy. Not all, but so much that it's just covered the living room. I have a big living room. And while I watch UFC and drink kombuchas and eat as much brisket as I can, I'm going to finish packing all my camera gear. It's going to be crazy and watch 5 hours of UFC. Oh, so excited. Yeah, 5 pounds cooked. Yeah, it's all I'm eating tomorrow. And normally I invite people over on Saturdays to watch UFC, not this week. Yeah, tech porn. It really is like tech porn at my house right now. So cool. What do you guys want to talk? I don't really want to talk. Auden Macau. Did we talk about Justin Smith failing his test? I don't know. I feel bad for him. Savanista's gathering Thursday after final event at the Great Dane. Oh, if I'm walking by, I'm going. Hey, you know, I even feel bad. There's this CrossFit did an Instagram post, which is really cool. You guys have you guys seen it? You guys should go over. If you haven't seen it, go over and comment on it. It's cool. I'm going to show it to you right now. CrossFit Games Instagram, and go over here, and you go to it, and you roll down here, and there's a post here celebrating the behind the scenes. Although I don't really understand I don't understand the video at all. But, oh, look at Wiki posted. But I went through this morning and there were 140 posts, 141 posts, 142 posts. I can't remember. And 1 or 2 are negative. And I actually feel bad about the ones that are negative. Here's the one that's negative. And it's like, dude, like, I feel bad that you think this about me for you, I don't feel bad for me. I feel bad for you. Like, dude, that's not even, none of that stuff you're saying is even true. And like, you have hate in your heart. Anyway. Alex Gazan. Look at her. Katrin David's daughter. Laura Horvat. For the first time in 6 years, a new fittest woman on earth will be named. Jamie Simmonds. Man. It's going to be loud in there. That girl, by the way, if you go to Aunt Haynes' Instagram account, I'll do it. Fine, watch this. Aunt Haynes. Aunt Haynes. And then you come on down here and you go to this. This girl is a freak, dude. This is his athlete. She's a savage. This is a 50 to 54-year-old. Lee something. Man, she gets at it. What a cool community we belong to. 50-year-old women climbing ropes with no hands. Pool boy, yo, Sebi. What's up, dude? My dad officially retired yesterday. Oh, that's cool. He's a big fan of the show. I think he'd love a shout out. Yeah, what's up, Mr. Pool Boy? Mr. Olivas. I like how you gave me his name too, so I could shout him back. Yeah, she's got a great back, huh, Lee? She got a crazy back. Oh, here we go. Here's another gathering. God, I'm going to miss out on so many of these. Chase Ingram, OG gathering Friday night, 6 p.m. RV Park, spot 42. Like you're going to be able to miss it. Where is the Great Dane? What is the Great Dane? Is that a bar, Heidi? Sevon's show on the CrossFit Games podcast is the highest viewed and most engagement of any live show we've ever done. And it's not even close. That's cool. I want to say it's 99% positive too. I don't expect I say this with peace and love and all humility. I don't expect anyone as great as me to traverse any landscape without there being some sort of controversy. I'm either going to be too tall or too short. I'm going to have the wrong accent. I'm going to offend someone. I'm going to hurt someone. I could be feeding a homeless man and someone's going to yell at me because I'm stepping on a bug. It's just the way shit. I'm not trying to justify any negative shit that I do or anything. It's just the way it's going to be. And but at the end there's going to be a net positive. I'm going to leave the world a better place than when I got here. Sevon, are you going to the Sevonistas meetup? I can't even know that. I can't even know that. If for some reason, let's say the meetup's Thursday night at 6, and at that point, Dave and Chuck and Heather Lawrence are meeting up about some new adjustments they're making to a rig, or there's some like judges meeting or something, and I have opportunity to film it. I'll be there filming it for the behind the scenes. Or if Jason Smith invites me back to his room to talk about him popping, I'll go with him. You know what I mean? It's like, so I just don't know. I don't know why you wrote Teddy Williams' name, but I love him. Good dude. Tanya Bowers, curious, how do the Sevonistas communicate when the podcast isn't rolling? What are we going to do for that week? Oy, oy, oy. Adam Blakely, you always leave things better until it comes to carts. I did a survey of all the boys and girls who collect carts for a living on the planet. All of them, every single one. I left no stone unturned. And you will be surprised to know that it was 97% of all cart gatherers would prefer you leave your carts out there so that when they go out and get carts, that their employment is found valuable, and that so they could spend more time outdoors, and so that they could actually have a job and be employed, and that they could also help people so that other people don't have to worry about those things. That's 97%. And yet, under the guise of kindness, I don't lie. That's not a lie. Cave Dastro, you sound like a modern scientist, a study that won't replicate. Damn, you guys are good. Shut it. I'm not done here. And yet, under the guise of your pseudo woke kindness, you think you guys are all wokesters at heart, putting your carts away. Here we go. Sir trolls a lot. I go grocery shopping with the cooler because it's hot. I look for a rogue cart so I could park next to it. Sevon, I was a Kmart gatherer as a young teen. Lies. Oh, please. You didn't like going to get carts? I gathered carts for the company called Drug Barn. And CK Kevin, trust me, I ain't no wokester. I love you guys. I loved it. I liked it when this was before carts would lock up, and so people would take their carts. Like, we'd get a call that there's a cart like a mile away, and dude, that's an hour. That would take me an hour to go over there and get that, find it. I'd love that shit. Yeah, here we go. Kenneth DeLapp. I know it breaks his heart to say this, but he's giving some honest feedback. I used to work at a grocery store, Kenneth says, in a strong masculine voice. Going to round up carts was a nice break. Kenneth exhales. It was a chance to get some air. Barry McCockner, great showing this morning. I will see you guys in 1 hour and 1 minute. Noel Henderson, love you guys.